got up to here, where you pretty much are able to gather all of the pricing information. All right, so all that is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and change some stuff here. So, what am I gonna change? So, one of the things that I found out about this that is kind of a big problem with this code is that if I change the network, the pricing information is going to break, and also fetching the ohm price on the other network, which is AVAX, is going to be completely different than this one. So I think it just makes sense to implement it in like two different ways, or basically for each network you basically have your own price lookup. So let's just do that. So const price lookup is it's actually a lookup of um, basically a network to, this is actually interesting because you're gonna have to implement the price lookup for every single one of these, um, or actually we can actually do it this way. So actually, okay, there we go. It's a lookup of network to a collection of prices. And how do we do the collection of prices? We basically do a lookup of string. So the way that I'm going to do this is we're going to have network.ethereum, right? And then what this does is that it's going to, actually this is going to be enough. All right, cool. So what this does is that it's going to fetch the price of ohm die, right? And then there's going to be an async function. All right, cool. And now that we have this is pretty much the ohm price. So const ohm price equals this bad boy right here. And then I'm going to return, actually, now we're going to have the index as well, which is pretty cool. All right, cool. Let's get the index. We get that by getting the rebasing token from this contract. Now that we have the index, we can get const gOhm price equals ohm price multiplied by index, right? So we have these two, and then with all that, we basically can just return a lookup of contract ID ohm. It'll be ohm price. Contract ID stake ohm price, and then gOhm will do gOhm price, right? So this is the implementation for the first lookup. Let me see if I did this right. So price lookup. It's basically a lookup to a function that returns a promise of a lookup that lookup is number. Okay, that makes sense now. Everything is making sense. So for network.avax, what we're gonna do is, for now, we're just gonna return, because only gOhm exists on AVAX anyways, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna return that, right? So, actually, I'm going to return 0 for the gOhm price, just for now. Eventually, we will be getting the correct price there too. All right, cool. So we got the price lookup, and when we load these things, it's really cool because we can basically now, okay, cool. So we have the balances, all that is so far so good. We get the prices. Also, we can actually do the prices like so. Instead of having the prices be an array of numbers, it can be actually a lookup of numbers. I think that'll be even better. So, and the way that we can do that is, oh yeah, this is going to be a little bit tough. What should be the default number for this? Well, I'm guessing we can do coins that reduce maybe, and then we can have lookup, and then coin, and then this is going to return a function. Actually, it's going to return. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, good. And then I'm gonna do this, yeah. And then I'm gonna do lookup coin equals 0, and then return lookup. And that'll be the default value, which makes sense. The only thing that we have to do here is this as lookup of a number. And once we do that, I think this whole thing will not complain anymore. So the reduce function, I've got to see where that starts and where that ends. So does that go away? Not really. So I wonder what is causing it. Oh, I actually have to return this before this function. Let's get rid of this comma. Let's get rid of this comma. And yeah, everything is good now. All right, cool. So when we come down here, we can basically get rid of the index and also price. And also, yeah, so set prices is basically where we get the prices. Cost prices, maybe underscore, is price lookup, network. What is network here? Let's take a look at it again. Okay, yeah, that's our network ID. And then once you get that, you pretty much have a function that is async. So we basically do wait this, and then we just call it. We don't have to pass in anything, right? And then we can just do set prices, right? And then we can get rid of this rebasing token. All of that is pretty good. Over here we do prices of coin ID, right? So if we go and take a look at this, everything looks good. If I change the network to AVAX, it's going to try and get the balance of all these coins on AVAX, but it shouldn't throw any errors. By the way, I can basically remove this price fetcher. So let's go and change the default network to AVAX. Just see what happens. AVAX. All right, cool. So it should technically show 0 for all of these things. This is weird. Let me refresh this. All right, start now. It's still showing the same balance. That's kind of weird because I don't expect this to show. What is the thing? The network console.log network global. Actually, this is just that. So network is 0 for this, which is Ethereum, whereas I very clearly set it to AVAX here. I wonder if I am setting this anywhere else. Set network. Oh, this is the setup. Okay. Let's change this here. So it turns out that I have the setup function that I'm calling in the beginning. And this setup function is getting called in scaffold page, like on top of here. As long as this page is being imported, then this setup is, happening. Actually, I should even move this setup to the index.js page, right? If I bring it here, then that's even cooler. Oh, let's import it. There we go. And then now we can change this to AVAX. And let's see what our app shows us. Just a weird white page. Ethereum, maybe? Why is this just showing a white page? Oh, it has a problem. Okay, cool. Oh, because setup is imported as a JS file. So let's go back here, index, setup, let's go to A, there we go. Let's write this. And now I can maybe dismiss this and also refresh it. Alright, cool. This looks good so far. Start now. And yeah, so it's based, oh, it has a promise rejection. And it makes sense because it has like all these three coins still, which I don't get, even if, oh, I need to change this to AVAX. Alright, so I set this to AVAX. Let's go here again. So right now it's only showing state-ohm, which doesn't make sense. It should show gOhm. gOhm. There we go. Alright, good. It's still running into issues here. Let me change the network back to Ethereum to see if I broke anything. Alright, going back to Ethereum. It shows this problem that basically says could not detect network. So every now and then I'm getting this error and I wonder what it is for. Because it's weird, because I do have the network here. And yeah, the setup function is getting called. So I don't really know. I think that might just be a hard reloading issue. Maybe some library's not getting loaded properly. Let's just try and reload it again. No, it definitely is an issue. So let's comment this part out. See what happens if I do that. Go here. No, still the same issue. Could not detect network. Call function Q, blah, blah, blah. Alright, I have no idea why this is not working, to be honest with you. Because at least the balances should work on this, and we can at least take a look at the balances. Console.log balances, and we take a look at it again, and we take a look at it here. We have the network. I'm guessing if we don't even reach that point where we get the balances and stuff. This is actually cool. Let's actually put something up here. Try. And then accept or catch. Sorry. E and then console.error E, something like this. Could not detect network. So it actually shows the error here. Code network error, version providers, blah blah blah. Which doesn't really make sense to me, because if you get the pair contract, if you get the contract, it should technically show up in global context. Over here, we are initializing it into Ethereum. We're calling this function, but we're honestly like only calling it here, where this setup function is not really getting even used. So maybe I should just comment this part out, see what happens. No, it still is showing the error. And that is just very unfortunate that the blockchain seems to be just very flaky. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hang up, figure this problem, and then I'm gonna get back on it.